Hi, welcome back to World of the Psychic.
Together we shall cast ourselves into the future.
Seen any aliens lately?
This is a part of America we never get to see.
Are you by chance referring to the legend of the Loch Ness Monster?
A ball of twine that weighs 19,000 pounds.
What is this, nerd porn?
It is about the Templar treasure, but it's also about other things, conspiracy theories, urban legends, and other myths that are true.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the Travel Oddities Podcast.
Good day, good evening, good morning, top of the afternoon to you. It's the Travel Oddities Podcast. This is what happens when we go into the pitch blackness of the night doing this. We descend into I don't know, it's like this, something happens. It's like two guys are there, like their own little slumber party, and they're not, they're trying to like not wake up the parents, so they're like laughing out loud but quietly, like if you could whisper and laugh out loud at the same time, because the other one farts and you're trying to watch kung fu movies, and you're like, the parents have come in multiple times and said, keep it down, or Brett, you're going to have to go home. Of course, it's me. No, it was always me that had to go home.
Dude, I swear, you were certifiable. That analogy was all
crazy.
over the place.
I thought it was pretty straightforward.
No, there was farting and kung fu and...
Okay, maybe I'm... Okay, this is actually happened to me. We had Burple. You remember Burple? Did you have Burple?
I don't remember Burple.
It came in a kind of an accordion. It was compact, but you put water, you pulled it up like it was accordion style, and you extended it, and you put the water in. It was like Kool-Aid.
Okay.
But it was called Burple. They had two kinds. They had grape and cherry. So we had Burple, and we ate just plain hamburger patties, and watched kung fu movies, and try not to wake up my stepdad, which, have you met my stepdad? Mm-hmm. Would you want to wake him up?
No.
Yeah. When he was 30 or when he was 50-something, you didn't want to wake the guy up. So that's what I was getting at. Sorry. I was having a moment.
Okay.
I was waxing the step. Was it waxing the nostalgia? Nostalgia? Yeah. Go ahead. So let's get to one that has some truth to it.
It definitely has a whole lot of history.
A lot of history behind this. And that I think is what's different about this particular cryptid case is there's a lot of historical record that goes along with it. It's not just a bunch of what you would say would be just a bunch of tall tales. I mean, there are years, there are times, dates, multiple sightings of this said creature. So let's go ahead and get right into the ice giants of Bangor, Maine.
Okay. So the ice giants, as you refer to them,
mm-hmm.
The Native Americans refer to them as the Chenoo.
Mm-hmm.
Ice giant, it's a Bigfoot-like creature from the legends of the Wabanaki people. Chenoo was once a human, but was cursed by the gods for horrible crimes. His heart was turned to ice, and his spirit was trapped in a troll-like monster. The Chenoo eats all of the souls from any humans he encounters.
See right there, more badass than your standard fair Bigfoot. He devours your soul, dude. I mean, in this picture, the first picture, the drawing that looks like it's something out of Image Comics, dude, I would read the comic.
Oh yeah, it's
the
badass.
Chenoo. I'd like to see Spawn versus the Chenoo. But yeah, I mean, devours your soul, has a heart made of ice.
Yeah. Okay, so this thing's known as Bigfoot, ice giant. Maine's White Walker was a news story
mm-hmm.
recently. The Kiwakwa.
I would say Kiwakwa.
Kiwakwa?
Yeah.
Okay. And that actually translates to walks about the woods. Also known as the Great Big Witch, which
mm-hmm.
I don't understand that one. It's different from all the others, but it was in there, in the lore. So some versions of the creature state that there's a male and a female Chenoo, with females being stronger and more dangerous than males. While the male Chenoo is cannibalistic, it is also more affable than the female counterparts and can be reasoned with.
Are we talking about Chenoos or just the men and human male and female separation. Men can be reasoned with.
Yes.
Does that surprise you?
Just to go off on a little side tangent, just for just 1 second.
Sure.
When you said Chenoo the way that you did, I was thinking we really have to do a news segment with the Chenoo.
Like from his perspective?
No, we just need to do a news segment about the Chenoo, and we can call it the Chenoos. Just the way you said it. Yeah. It just came across as Chenoo.
So females are stronger.
And men are more level-headed.
More level-headed.
I didn't say it.
So there's sexism across the board. I mean, we're assuming that you can't level it. I can sweet talk anything. Say something.
I was waiting for
I'm just saying I can sweet talk anything. I was
waiting for a sexist comment. I'm sorry.
It's a sexist species.
Okay, so there are stories where humans are brave and clever enough to befriend and even cure Chenoo of their cannibalistic condition. Other versions imply that the Chenoo are related to witchcraft, either that it is a curse or it can be inflicted by a witch, or that a powerful witch can become a Chenoo after death. So maybe that's why it's called the Great Big Witch.
So my question is, if you or I are cannibals, we're known to eat the same species, right?
Right.
But why would a human be able to basically flip the Chenoo script and keep them from being cannibals on their own kind? I don't.
We'll actually get into that.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I usually don't make sense, but
no, absolutely. Some of that is in the defense against section. So it said that they have a loud and horrible shriek, and that if you hear it, you could literally die instantaneously.
Wow. Not a lot of sightings of these then.
I'm going to say no.
It's like, oh, there she goes again. You're dead.
I kind of liken it to the H.P. Lovecraft role-playing game, where viewing any particular monster could make you go insane instantaneously. There's a chance. So, I don't know. That's pretty cool.
H.P. Lovecraft, I want to go there, but I'm afraid.
You're afraid to get into H.P. Lovecraft stories?
I'm afraid that they're terrifying.
Because
they don't give you the creature. Like, they give you...
That's why it's terrifying.
They give you the description.
They don't even do that. They give you a description of a portion. He'll give you just enough to allow your brain to go crazy with it. So, yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, so the Chenoo also creates its own camouflage through rubbing its body with pine resin, then rolling around on the ground to cover itself with leaf litter and fallen branches. With such a tall stature and dark disguise, it might be easy for this monster to be mistaken for a tree or at a cursory glance. So,
what I already like about this particular creature, is that there are some concrete explanation as to why you may not be able to see it, instead of saying, again,
dude, you just hate Bigfoot. You're a Bigfoot hater.
I'm not. We talked about this on the when we were guests on the Project Archivist podcast, when we kind of talked a little bit about where we kind of all stood with cryptids, and how we, or at least I, and I think Levo agreed, when we start getting into the interdimensional travel of these creatures, as to why they may be existing in the same realm as us, but we can't see them, but they can see us. You lose me there.
But there's only one explanation for the...
I know, but
you got tainted.
I did get tainted.
You wanted that Bigfoot tape back, 5-6 years ago.
Every time there's a new one that comes up, I'm in it. But then I'm like, it's just, we can't tell. It's always everything's blurry. Without giving credit to anybody for having blurry photos. No, good podcast, but... you know what I mean, though?
Yes.
I think the camouflage angle, I like that.
Yeah.
The ice heart, I've met some cold-hearted mother. But they weren't Chenoo's.
Okay, so there's another version that through demonic possession, or as a punishment for cannibalism, or refusing to feed the starving, the human transforms in appearance and height into the tall and imposing Kiwakwa.
Whose business is it whether or not they eat each other? Would you rather them cannibalize themselves or eat your family pet?
Well, they do both.
Right, but I'm saying, pick your
But
poison.
I think that's part of the lore that's why there's not a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because
they've kind of thinned out their own herd, basically.
They'll basically cut down their own numbers, come back for you later.
Because there's not enough people that are willing to negotiate with them.
Or just not enough people stupid enough to run off into the woods in Maine in the middle of the winter.
And say, hey, can we have a heart-to-heart talk?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm pretty level-headed. My wife. Oh, take my wife, please. Oh.
So most iterations, however, maintain that the idea that the monster has a heart of solid ice. Sometimes it is located in the chest, and other times it sits in the stomach. The icy heart is usually in the shape of a human figure, a cold reflection of the monster's self. I know you're shaking your head.
No,
I didn't even have to look up.
No, my neck is...
no.
I'm stretching my neck. I'm stretching my neck out.
Okay.
And a kind of a shaking head motion.
Okay, so a Chenoo is said to increase its power as it consumes more of the icy hearts of its own kind, yet ironically, this is the source of black magic that powers the monster is also its weakest point. So, the way to kill it is to destroy its weird little ice human heart.
In the video game, that's where you kill it. Look, that's the weak spot. Aim for the weak spot. It does sound a little bit like a creature from, like, Dark Souls. Or maybe even, like, Skyrim. Does it not?
It doesn't sound like a Skyrim.
No?
Maybe. A little bit.
But you'd have to have, like a level 80 armor and a scabbard. I don't know.
All right, so getting into some of the sightings.
Yes.
In 1895... in South Gardner, a correspondent to the Boston Globe wrote of people near the outskirts of town startled by unearthly shrieks. 2 women and 3 boys picking blueberries had come upon a hairy monster that walked upright on its hind legs like a man. The animal looked like an immense African monkey.
Oh, come on. Racist.
How's
an immense African monkey? How would they know what an immense African monkey looked like?
Books, man.
From the circus?
Books.
Okay, I don't mean racist. Or maybe I do. Maybe I'm saying special racism. Is that a word? Special? Species?
Amy.
Help me. You leave me.
I'm not.
I know that, but leave me.
I'm not Googling it.
I know, but you leave me to bake. You just let me simmer in my own.
We've had the discussion about you going off on weird tangents.
What am I supposed to do? What do you expect from me?
Not use words that you don't know.
Okay, so interspecies racism.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Early 1900s. Maine author T.M. Gray mentions in her New England Gravestone Tales of 2010 a woman's story of her father encountering a strange creature while logging. While driving to camp, a large hairy man ran out of the woods and darted across the road, causing him to slam on the truck's brakes. Joined by fellow lumberjacks, they searched for the strange creature, but never saw it again. That one, you could just...
What?
You can just write that one off to... There was...
But we have 2 strange hairy man sightings. Yes?
I have a strange hairy man sighting every time I go into the bathroom.
I know, but this is like 100 and some odd years later. No, it's not.
No, it's like 5
years later. Sorry, I looked at it wrong. Oh
okay.
My God.
So we'll jump ahead.
Will we ever get full credibility? Will this podcast ever become a credible source for information?
It's not our goal.
It's not our goal.
I'm sorry.
We're talking about stuff.
It's not even that. It's a good... if you want to go...
to Bangor, Maine.
No, if you want to go to Six Flags or Disneyland, more power to you. Mm-hmm. Me, personally, I'm not interested in the least. I would rather go to a small town and talk to people at the local diner about what's going on in their area or their urban legends. I think that stuff's fun.
So you don't want Filipino, Thai, or Vietnamese immigrants folding your towels into animal shapes on your cruise ship?
No.
I thought it was cool.
And maybe once, but how many weekends?
Oh, you can eat shrimps, though. There was big shrimps. First day I got there on the cruise, big shrimp. I don't get to eat shrimp at home.
Okay. So
I'm like Julius. You know, my girl's a vegetarian. You know, he don't get to get a burger. I don't get seafood at home, dude. I'm on the ocean, bro. That's where you got to do this. So every now and again, yes.
I bet you they get some bomb-ass seafood in Maine.
I bet they do. Maine lobster?
I bet, you're probably saying it wrong.
Probably. Lobster?
There.
Lobster.
Maybe that's better.
Okay.
1942, the Bigfoot Encounters website contains a story of two sisters' childhood experiences on Medibemps Lake. That's what it says.
I know.
And I probably mispronounced that too.
Oh. Amy? Go ahead.
Where their family would go to fish for smallmouth bass. The girls would fish from the rocky island until one night a howling described as melodious singing from someone with a husky voice echoed across the lake.
Sorry. I just have this like, I don't know. I mean, what's the dramatic reenactment to that? Now, Medibemps, it sounds like something like Harry Potter would do. We're going to Medibemps.
Maybe.
And to get, what's his name?
I don't know. There's a whole lot of characters in those movies.
What's the big guy's name?
Hagrid?
Hagrid.
Okay.
Or Wild Eye Moody? Or what? Mad Eye Moody?
Again.
I don't have to be a Harry Potter guy, okay?
Okay, so the girls were later confronted by a pair of hair-covered giants who took their fish.
Okay, but can we just kind of glance at the fact that I probably just had like 100,000 Harry Potter fans jump off Harry Potter World just now when I said Wild Eye Moody? Anyway, so they stole their fish. It doesn't surprise me.
Well, if you go back to the origin story, though, there is a little discrepancy because, A, there are two of them.
So the origin story, like Chenoo begins. Or
Yes.
Ice Giant begins.
Yes. If you go back to the origin story that we kind of went over.
Right.
A, there are two of the Chenoo together.
Mm-hmm.
They're cannibalistic, so the chances of them hanging out in groups is probably going to be small. And then the other is that they eat people.
They eat people. They eat each other.
So they took the only thing that wasn't food for them in the story, which is the fish.
Right.
So it's a little off from the origin, but we'll give them that and we'll continue.
Okay.
1973, the Durham gorilla sightings began in late July into mid-August of 1973. The first sighting was by a group of children biking on Shiloh Road in Durham, where they encountered a creature they described as resembling a chimpanzee. Doesn't fit for me.
Well, it doesn't if you're going to say the Durham gorilla sightings.
And then it's a chimpanzee.
Right. Potato crystal. I mean, it's just not even the same thing. Am I right?
No, I agree with you.
Besides, who's going to win? Who wins the gorilla chimpanzee battle?
Gorilla.
Yeah, well, doy.
Okay, so in 1984, you've got fisherman while engaged in trout fishing with his uncle in Sullivan, a man reported encountering a 7 to 8 foot tall creature, dark brown in color and in full view only 50 feet away. The witness estimated the creature weighed between 400 and 500 pounds.
Jiminy Christmas.
It's pretty big.
You know, and the thing about it is, back then, and even, well, yeah, I would say back then because, you know, the next sighting, you know, we skip a considerable amount of years.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the internet. You're not inundated with.
I don't know, man. 1984, I remember there were plenty of Bigfoot shows on TV.
But think about how it is now.
Well, it's 24/7.
It's a 24-hour news cycle. It doesn't matter if it's network news or Bigfoot reality shows, ghost reality shows. We're desensitized by that stuff. I still think there was a more primitive angle, but I also think that in a gorilla suit, people thought people really looked like a gorilla just because of the advancements in technology. And I mean, there's just
and such.
Right. You couldn't Photoshop something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because think about the original, the creme de la creme of the Bigfoot tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at it now, I mean, you got to call hoax on it. Wouldn't you say? But there is a huge population of people that it's the salt of the earth sighting.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was filmed on a 35 millimeter camera. That close. I don't know.
Okay. So, jumping up 2006,
Yeah.
Michael Merchant, a.k.a. Snowwalker Prime, is a Maine-based Bigfoot researcher who has conducted a series of interviews with Bigfoot witnesses. Among these interviews are an Ellsworth couple who related traveling south on Route 1A one October night. They suddenly glimpsed, on the left-hand side of the road, a figure standing on two legs that moved into the road. Backlit by a streetlight, the couple saw that it was tall, thin, and had very long arms. In a fluid motion, the thing hunched forward, putting its hands on the ground and bounded across the road on all fours. When almost across the road, it was joined by an identical smaller creature following in similar quadrupedal movements. The fluid, powerful mode of locomotion impressed the couple as apparently inhuman.
So, right away, we've got a guy who named himself after a snowmobile Autobot, or a leader of the snowmobile Autobots, because if you're a Prime, you're considered a leader.
Okay.
In the world of the Transformers.
Got it.
Snowwalker Prime. Can we just get... Michael Merchant sounds better.
Agreed.
I mean, that's like saying, a.k.a. Snow Dragon, Smoke Dragon 420. I mean, you've lost me there because you anointed yourself Snowwalker Prime.
I'm not gonna point fingers.
I'm not, but that's not your rank in the Autobots. You're a grown man that wants to be taken seriously, Harley. I'm not calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on his AKA.
Okay, I'll agree with that. If you're a grown man and you want to be taken seriously as a Bigfoot researcher, then just go by your name.
Right. Leave this. We don't need your AOL IM name.
Okay.
Although that'd be a cool for my Xbox Live account. I would do Snowwalker Prime. I bet it's taken.
Probably.
You want to know why? Because they're dorks.
Okay, no, I'm done. Okay, 2014. Bill Brock of Durham has been investigating a claim of Bigfoot in Turner with an accompanying video occurring late in 2014. The video shows a dark figure walking across a woodland trail. Brock is a believer in leveraging new technology in the hunt for Bigfoot and promotes the benefits of drones for data collection and evidence evaluation.
So speaking of drones, have you seen the video?
Yes, the fake video I saw.
Okay, of the Goatman video?
No.
There's a Goatman video floating around I believe it's a drone video.
No.
And it looks like a guy in a hazmat suit. I'm serious, but they're saying it's the Goatman. And then, of course, the recent video of the drone video of the Bigfoot. I want more than anything. And maybe when we go to Hanovia in September, I'll have a breakthrough.
Maybe,
but what more?
Maybe you should choose a new name.
What?
I don't know.
Hamburglar Prime? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying, what new technology? We've tried everything. Trapping it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
Night vision cameras catches a lot of raccoons.
You would think with the advent of just the trail camera, the automated trail camera, there would be a lot more mysterious. But of course, you don't put those in places where you're going to look for the goat man. You put them in
more hard to reach areas.
Not even that, just places where you want to hunt.
And furthermore, if I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that something that's primate-like or cryptid in this regard is more intelligent than a deer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not going to get caught with the deer and the ant. You do deer in the headlights look.
Right.
Why would they, for no other reason than it's a food source, why wouldn't they be more elusive?
I don't know.
I mean, I just don't see how putting trail cams up is going to do any good. You know, if you want to find unexplored, undiscovered species,
mm-hmm.
go to the depths of the ocean. The hardest to reach areas.
I don't think, honestly, I think this is going to be a point of contention on the show for some time to come. I don't think that you, personally, are ever going to buy into a cryptid unless you have a really unexplainable experience.
I mean, we've had El Chupacabra sightings in our area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I say area, but probably more east of here, in like Norman and Tecumseh and areas like that. And they've captured creatures that they've dubbed as El Chupacabra. But is it a coyote with mange? I don't know. We've unexplained corpses that people have taken photographs of. You know, is it a bloated raccoon that has no hair? Who knows? I mean, these are the things I have the hardest time with.
Right.
Because I think Bigfoot is, to me, any type of a Bigfoot creature is it's the top of the food chain in terms of cryptids, obviously.
Right.
It's something that's been done. And when we go there as a show, we're non-experts, but I have to be honest with it. I have to be honest. I need to see more. What kind of technology do we need? How come science, like big science, not some crackpot scientist with a Geiger counter, isn't investing time in this?
Because they literally don't care. They've already determined. And again, I've got no dog in the hunt, so to speak. You know, I don't have a camp.
Right.
But science doesn't give science decides way too often in advance. It knows how things are going to work. Science, you know, like as an institution, it knows that ghosts aren't real and Bigfoot is a myth or an urban legend or a cool story that some group of people told their kids, you know, to keep them from wandering off. It knows this without any doubt. So why spend a nickel investigating something that you already know the answer to?
I mean, just don't. As a kid, no joke, I wanted Harry from Harry and the Hendersons to be real. You know, it was fun. It was magic. E.T. I wanted Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I wanted it to be real for me because it was so realistic. It would, you know, you look at it now and go, okay, I can see the edges now. You know what I mean? I can see the pasted on effect, and then you find out that E.T.'s like rotting away in a warehouse now. So, I mean, I want more than anything, because every time there's new video, I'm on it. I just want more. I don't know what more technology, and I didn't mean to get off on a tangent, but I do, but what more technology do you need? I mean, what is it? If I won the lottery and had $500 million, tell me what you need. What do you need to start? Let's do it. Would you not do a Bigfoot expedition if you had the money? Somebody gave you a grocery list of, I need this, and this. And as long as some of it didn't involve like some eye of newt, leg of frog stuff, you'd be in probably.
I don't know. I honestly,
know?
I mean, I'm going in September.
We're going. We're going. We're going to go. We're going to find this thing out. Maybe we can get tag along.
I mean, I don't know how far you have to hike off into the woods to get to the place where you could possibly see Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it's like 15, 20
feet.
15, 20 minutes of hiking. I'm probably going to want to take a break from there. So I'm hoping that it's like at the 7-8 minute mark.
That's what, 2 cigarettes? All right. Well,
all right. So, I guess basically we just need to get into how you're going to defend yourself against this thing if you come up across it.
Yeah.
Be warned. It is my job to arm you against the foulest creatures known to wizard kind. You may find yourselves facing your worst fears in this room. Know only that no harm can befall you whilst I am here. I must ask you not to scream.
All right, so I actually have some legitimate historical information on how to take care of a Chenoo. There are medicines made and given to the Chenoo of an unknown recipe that make the creature vomit up its heart and the hearts of all the other Chenoo is eaten. Supposedly, this will help change the Chenoo back into a human being. There's a problem with this one, though.
It sounds a lot like the root grew.
No, my problem is
because the Luke Guru had the kind of that you could do something to change it back to its human form as well.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
But it was the root Guru, not the Luke Guru.
No, I'm sorry.
Not to
There's
confuse.
a difference.
Yes, there is. But
okay.
there's a catch to this.
What?
The recipe from the Native Americans is an unknown recipe, and I'm pretty sure we killed off all the people that knew. So, as a race...
So, I can go online right now. Probably watch a DIY video on how to make the Colonel's secret recipe chicken. Yes. But I don't have... There's not one lick of... It's like Grandma's apple pie. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what she put in there. Nobody knows if it was 2 or 3 crack rocks. But it's addictive. That's all we know.
Okay, so another more graphic way to dispose of this creature. Chop it into mini pieces.
Jeez Louise. Hey. I mean, I know they're level-headed, supposedly. But what do you do do you set a snare? I mean, how do you get it to the point where you're chopping it up in little pieces?
I'm just going to say that's probably a group effort. You're going to probably need a couple of people to assist with that one.
Okay. You're my ride or die. I would do that with you.
Okay, so favorite version, the way to kill the Chenoo is to make it eat salt.
Okay.
So apparently even prehistoric New Englanders.
Careful now.
Sorry, Lobo.
What are you going to do? Pack its ass with salt?
No,
I don't know.
What I was getting at is that even prehistoric people from Maine.
Prehistoric people from Maine?
Well, from the area.
Oh, okay. Sorry. When you say prehistoric,
I know.
I think of, like Neanderthal, like New Englanders.
No. So, the early
settlers.
No,
before
Native
Maine
Americans.
We went a long way around. You worry about mispronouncing Chenoo and tribal names, and you're like, prehistoric New Englanders.
I don't know the best way to explain it. But the natives that were there before we came over and killed them and ruined their recipes.
You're digging a cultural rift. Not a hole. It's an actual rift that you're digging.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll shut up. I was just going to say, I think it was interesting that before we had driveways, before we had driveways, the people in Maine had a full understanding of the usefulness of salt in the wintertime.
So rather than address the issue of the Native Americans, we're just going to say before there were driveways.
Dude, I don't know. I can't win. I can't win tonight. I give up.
I mean,
you win.
You're trying to rain dance around it.
No.
Okay. Anyway, so before there were driveways,
episode 39, Brett is the winner of episode 39.
I win. So I've won.
You won. I won the first 38.
Red
so
light.
It's 38-1.
All lives matter. before or after driveways.
Okay.
Prehistoric before prehistoric driveways.
Yes, prehistoric driveways. Prehistoric Priuses.
When it was just before it was a cul-de-sac, it was what was it?
I don't know. Dude, I give up. I swear. I'm done. I got no...
You got nothing.
I got nothing. I'm not Native American.
So I did make a note here.
Yes.
We didn't address this. You said denied. We will hear no skeptical views on this subject. It's almost as if you were really going to try to toe the line here.
No, we do it too much when it comes to cryptids.
Are you getting on to me?
I'm not getting on to you.
I think I was reasonable with my...
I agree, but I will also say that the secret Bigfoot tape that came out like 5 years ago broke your heart.
Yes, it did. When the body was in the ice chest.
And now the only thing left is an icy little man inside your chest that's full of hate and vitriol for all things cryptid.
And it's made a cannibal.
I'm not...
So I went against your request to not call bullshit.
Yes.
So I call BS on no BS calling. Okay. Essentially, that's the note I put there.
All right.
So, golly, is this a 3-week event? Bangor, Maine, travel oddities. How long have we been on?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't keep track anymore. God. So we're hopping into the town. Bangor.
Let's get in. Bangor.
Bang.
We're going gangbusters on Bangor.
Okay. Population of Bangor, Maine, 33,000. Apparently in the metropolitan area, it's about 154,000.
According to prehistoric in New England. Okay. This is... I don't like the next thing you're about to say.
Why?
Because this comes out of something that's probably going to be in my list. But okay. Go ahead.
No. I'm going to skip over it completely. Move on. You just do not forget it in your list.
Okay.
So we'll get on to festivals. There are a bunch. The people in New England
love to have festivals.
Apparently, they have one about every 3 weeks. I just snagged a few that I thought were interesting. So the Bangor State Fair runs through from late July to early August. It's your run-of-the-mill fair.
You know what? There's somebody out there going, you son of a bitch. It's the best time of year around here.
No, I'm just saying activity-wise.
Mm-hmm.
It's your normal fair.
Okay.
It's roller coasters and, deep fried food. It looks like. But
I bet there's I bet you can get a crab cake there.
Well, they do have pony rides, but they also have fireworks and midway rides and, Demolition Derby was on there.
Cool.
I don't normally see that with a state fair kind of thing. But the activity that I did think was cool, the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue.
Yes, and when you think, and this kind of leads us into something we'll talk about a little bit later, but shame on me for not thinking of Maine as being like this barbecue destination. I had no real idea.
I still don't. I'm skeptical of two things in the title of this.
What?
Blues and barbecue.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong, those guys up there, hell, Rogan over Project Archivist apparently brews the stuff in his basement or something. Those guys know beer.
Right.
And
beer,
I'll give it to them.
Beer, yes.
You're not going to convince me that they're up to par on
the blues
or barbecue.
Yeah, and it's not an indictment on them.
No, I'm not saying it is, and I could be dead wrong. But I'm gonna have to you're gonna have to show me the body.
Show me the body. If your blues consists of some guy dressed up as Captain D playing a guitar and singing about having a lighter harvest of crabs this year. I mean, I don't know.
No, I could be wrong. I'm sure if I'm wrong that Lobo is gonna.
He will lay into us.
Okay, so the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue on Waterfront Park typically runs in July. It is the name is pretty descriptive, so I'm going to get, but basically they say bring your lawn chairs, come down to the waterfront. They've got blues playing, frosty brews, and tons of finger-licking good barbecue. So, again,
show me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to see it in person. And then the last one I grabbed, American Folk Festival. So, late August, the American Folk Festival is a large-scale 3-day event held each year at the end of August on the Bangor waterfront. The festival presents the music and dance from the many cultures that make up America today. Mm-hmm. At the festival, the nation's finest performing groups share the traditional arts of their religion, cultures, and heritage. So It sounds cool. I like it. It's kind of inclusive.
For me, for bang for my buck, I'll listen to some Maine folk, because it's probably something about being out on the, this ocean and yada yada blah blah blah. Blues, show me, introduce me to something.
Okay, so did you have something that you wanted to share?
Dude, I always do.
About the Maine / Bangor area?
Yes.
And I probably, every time I say Bangor, I just know that Lobo is like grabbing his temples.
Oh yeah, he's like doing like those fish emojis, like it's just on repeat. Those angry fish people.
Okay, again, so I'm sorry.
All right, so of course another top 5 brought to you by Movado, Movado.com. So top 5 interesting facts about Maine.
Okay,
first one, kind of near and dear to my heart, maybe yours. The old woolen mill in North Berwick, Maine, is the real Paris shoe factory shown in the movie Jumanji. Did you know that?
I did not.
Good movie.
That was a good movie.
Yes. Yeah, it was a good movie. They're remaking of The Rock. I like The Rock. I just don't know.
It's not a movie that needs to be remade.
We're going to go here. Maine's earliest inhabitants, or prehistoric New Englanders, are believed to have been descendants of Ice Age hunters. Like the movie.
Did it say, are you sure it didn't say Ice Age giants?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Did you know Breakfast Club's rebel Judd Nelson was born in Portland, Maine?
No.
Which?
Are you sure you're not confusing that with Portland, Oregon?
No. Lobo was up in Portland, Maine recently.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I'm sure you're not confusing that with Portland,
Oregon? Maine is actually, I think that's where the damn it.
Okay.
Cryptozoological Museum is.
Yes.
Is in Portland, Maine. Number 4, in case you had to be told, it is against the law in Maine to step out from a plane while it's in flight. Sounds like a given.
I know some people. I know a few people that those types of laws are written for. And I'm not one for having a lot of laws, but for those people that I'm referring to, they need to be known. It needs to be known to them that they're not allowed to step out of a moving plane.
Look, there are laws against people having sex with animals because it's happened a lot.
Yeah.
Not really a law, but you could be up against some legal trouble. Don't get too tinsel happy. You can be charged a fine in Maine for leaving your Christmas decorations up after January 14th, which basically means that the state of Oklahoma would be bankrupt. There's a lot of people that probably, it sounds crazy. Would you agree or disagree that there's probably a lot of people that still have their Christmas lights up?
A lot of builders are actually building it into the design now. I've seen a lot of it.
And I'm looking at the top of this dresser here, and there's just because it only has one little Christmas ball on the tree doesn't mean it's not a Christmas tree.
It doesn't count.
So anyway, one last thing.
Okay.
Here's a weird fact. Stephen King. You knew it would come up. Perhaps the most popular Maine resident is the master of horror himself, author Stephen King, who has sold more than 350,000 copies of his book, lives in Bangor with his wife Tabitha in a gorgeous downtown house that is closed to the public. Can you imagine that? Cool looking place, though. It looks scary.
Yeah, that is. That 350,000 though, that cannot be right.
I don't know.
He's been a national best-selling author for the last 30 years. There's absolutely no way on God's green earth he's sold 350 copies of his books.
Why don't you write Movado.com, tell them they're full of shit?
Okay, I will.
Call bullshit on Movado.com. Since you're not willing to call bullshit on anything else, go ahead. Continue. Done.
All right, so getting into a place to eat in Bangor.
Is it Bangors and mash?
Okay, so we're going with this conspiracy theory that the people in Maine know barbecue. Moe's Original Barbecue on Broadway Avenue. Moe's is named one of the top 10 barbecue joints in America by USA Today.
I've seen you sweat more about blues and barbecue in Maine than any subject we've ever talked about, any location or cryptid or ghost. You are more skeptical about this than you are. I think the Illuminati, this on the scale of skepticism, Illuminati being the creme de la creme. Mm-hmm. I think you believe more in the Illuminati than you do Moe's Original Barbecue.
Okay, I am just going to have to say, right off the bat, Moe's is a chain.
Really?
Yeah.
See, and that's something we don't usually get into.
Right. Because it's some Illuminati bullshit is what it is.
So, Moe's is a chain. Huh. I've never heard of it. Lobo, if you're listening to this show, tell us about if you've ever been to Moe's Barbecue. Okay, for you to be a believer. Now, most people, when they say they've got the best this, they've got the best that. Okay, where are you in barbecue? What would make a believer out of it?
Ribs.
Me too. Ribs, number one. Ribs. I go to a barbecue joint, I get ribs.
Mm-hmm.
Barbecue ribs. It's called barbecue ribs. Give me ribs. I don't like St. Louis ribs. I don't want baby back ribs. I want the big spare ribs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
I don't want them smothered in barbecue sauce, because I think if you smother in barbecue sauce, you're hiding something. What? A good steak.
No, I agree.
A good steak needs no. I hate it when you go to a steak house and they offer you steak sauce.
Yeah.
No, I'm not giving you an option because my steak is that damn good. Same thing with barbecue. The sauce is there if I want it, and I use it sparingly. But it's the rub. It's about the rub, the tenderness.
Correct. So apparently, we're gonna have to do a road trip to Maine to test their barbecue and blues.
Yeah.
All right.
We have to do it in the last week of
August.
Golly, if it's any hotter there than it is here, I just don't know if I can.
All right. Time to get on to. We're looking for your feedback then, and basically what Brett's getting at here. Call us on the odd line.
You son of a bitch.
7865-ODDITY. On the website, traveloddities.com. Facebook, Travel Oddities Podcast.
What he's getting to. Stop!
What am I supposed to stop?
This isn't a convalescent podcast where you babysit Grandpa Brett and sometimes his medicine's not working and he goes off on a tangent.
I agree, Gary Busey. If Gary Busey wants to hit us up on Twitter, it's at travel_oddities.
Yes.
And iTunes. As always, we would like some stars on iTunes.
Good Lord have mercy.
Between 1 and 5.
Honestly.
We don't have any bad reviews on iTunes. If you feel like we suck,
tell us.
Give us a 1 star. I'll take the 1 star.
Yes. 4 quarters make $1. That's what my grandma would tell me. True story. 4 quarters make $1. Start saving. Or no, she'd say 4 quarters make $1 and like 10 quarters makes, how much is that? $2.50?
Mm-hmm.
So you better get your saving, Brett Jeffrey. So give some stars. They add up quickly. Well, anyway, this has been an extended version.
For sure.
What are we in, an hour and a half?
Hour and 38 minutes.
Big mother trucker is all I gotta say. Anyway, so yeah, it's been the Travel Oddities podcast. Man, this has been one. You said it might go long.
I did.
You did. Curse. And then it doesn't help that you got a guy that's kind of out there a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're out there a little bit.
Anyway, which is weird. You would think, being a guy that's out there, that I would, carry my foil hat around.
I would think that a guy that was out there who just started to wrap up the show
would wrap it up.
Could probably find a way to say, thanks for listening to the Travel Oddities podcast.
Well, it's funny you mention it. Yes. I was just thinking, thank you for listening to the Travel Oddities podcast. It's me, Brett.
And Harley.
We'll see you on the road. Peace.
Peace.